Here. All right. Medical marijuana. It's becoming legal, it's becoming popular, it's becoming a drug of choice. In an article written by M. Staff titled How Many States Have Recreational Weed? As of at the end of 2018, 33 states plus DC have legalized medical marijuana. Meanwhile, there are now 10 states plus DC where recreational weed is legal. E. Oberg wrote medical marijuana or medical cannabis refers to any part of the marijuana plant that is used to treat health problems and not to get high. In his article, What is Medical Marijuana? Benefits, Types, Uses, and Legalities, and Now Sports are actually trying to look into the effects of medical marijuana. You may have actually heard of or seen news that the NFL is looking into medical marijuana as a legal substance to take for pain and injuries. Some NFL officials are on board, others not so much. But imagine this, it would cut down on the addiction to opiates and even a remedy for concussions as well. So is it helpful or hurtful? Oberg wrote that medical marijuana is the medical use of the cannabis sativa or cannabis indica plant to relieve symptoms of or treat diseases and conditions. In a recent study, the most common reasons people use medical marijuana are for pain, anxiety, depression, muscle spasticity, and inflammatory bowel diseases. The benefits of medical marijuana can be attributed to binding to the endocannabinoid system. This has many effects, including modulation of the immune system, promoting neuroplasticity, emotional and cognitive modulation, including learning and motivation, appetite, vascular function, and digestive function. With relief like that, the NFL is conducting their own studies on the effects of using it in order to help the pain and injuries and getting players off of the opiates. A. Garcia and J. Swan wrote in an article, the NFL should let players use marijuana, that some researchers are now finding evidence that CBD and THC have two major benefits for athletes. They act as a non-addictive pain reliever and they can protect the brain from injury. These healing properties can be beneficial in a league where opiate addiction and concussions have become significant health concerns. So where does the NFL stand on it now? Well, according to dispensaries.com, the NFL prohibits the use of marijuana by its players, disregarding the many former players who have come out in favor of marijuana. In the NFL, one hit of marijuana can land a player in a substance abuse program. Should he do it again, the player receives a 4-game suspension. Another violation turns into 8 games on the sideline. Baldwin wrote in Grass is Greener Than Turf. Hannah stated in an article titled It's Time to Get Real About Marijuana in Professional Sports, Part 1, that calls to remove marijuana from the list of banned substances have become more frequent in line with the increase of recent suspensions and fines. Alleged rampant use among professional athletes and players openly advocating for legalization. So why exactly are they wanting to get it disbanded? It's simple. Players develop a reliance on opiates while playing. Jay Gill wrote an article titled Cannabis Offers Battered Pro Athletes Both Hope and Healing. A study published in a clinical journal of sport medicine showed that 26.2% of retired NFL players required the continued use of opiates after leaving the sport. C. Lee wrote an article titled The Need for Weed and stated in an open letter on the site The Players Tribune written by ex-Baltimore Ravens offensive tackle Eugene Monroe, he says that the league would feed them opiates to get players back on the field as soon as possible. He also stated that retired NFL players misuse prescription painkillers at a rate more than 4 times higher than the general population. Another ex-player, Kyle Turley, sustained serious ankle, shoulder, and back injuries and got hooked on opiate pain medicine. After retiring, he began having neurological issues, including suicidal depression and fainting spells, and the addiction escalated. He swapped the meds for medical marijuana and says it saved his life. And it doesn't just stop there. They also wrote that before receiving his medical card in 2010 in Arizona, the former Chicago Bears quarterback Jim McMahon estimates that he took at least 100 Percocet pills a month just to alleviate pain. So medical marijuana is gaining momentum and it's here to stay. When more studies have been done and really show the benefits of medical marijuana, then more people will be able to get relief from the pain and even alleviate it altogether. NFL players are struggling with injuries, concussions, and a dependency on pain medications. Medical marijuana allows them to not have the side effects and alleviate the pain from injuries. It makes them feel more themselves and ready to play the game better. Players are on board and even coaches are on board. But are you on board?